Yeah, got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
All right, so Terrence Howard, he was on the PBD podcast.
Yeah.
Patrick Beck David's podcast, and he kind of goes into what Justin Bieber's going through.
Oh, really? No, you checked in that clinic.
But before we get to today's video,
Yeah.
we only got 3 days left for our contest, which is the Ford Raptor and $10,000 in cash. But if you enter today, you also enter to win our red Jeep Rubicon, and we give you 25 times the interest.
25 times.
We ain't never did nothing like that before.
Just go to
Just go to officialhorsetwins.com. Anything you buy on our website, get you in it to win. Yeah. All right.
Let's get to the show.
Let's get to the show.
That's a big question. That made me just sit there and take notes. Nick Nolte was the only one. Every take he came in, we applauded him. We gave him a standing ovation. Every take, every single take, because he was so dynamic in what he was doing. I've never met a better actor in my life that just shuts me up. I'm like, okay.
Nick Nolte was in the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy and Gavin O'Connor, which is, I love that movie, but he was also in Blue Chip. Was he Coach in Blue Chip with Shaq?
Coach in Blue Chip, yeah.
He was in Coach in Blue Chip, wow.
I mean, he was in another 48 hours.
My favorite performance of him is what he did in The Hulk. That conversation that he was having with Eric Bana, the conversation, he channeled everything. He never holds anything back. So I love actors that just really pours it out. Like, I can't keep up with Joaquin Phoenix no more. Joaquin has taken off. He's in a place where the disbelief that I can't do anymore because I've been rooted into trying.
So what's the first time you met him?
With who?
Joaquin.
Joaquin was when we were doing, he was nominated with me when we were doing, he was nominated for Walk the Line. I was nominated for Hustle and Flow. So we were in the whole
That's
circuit
the first
together.
time.
That's the first time.
Did you guys ever do anything together?
Nope.
Never have.
Nope.
Dude,
it was me,
this
him,
stuff
Heath
is-
Ledger. He was in the run with us. It was Philip Seymour Hoffman running with us.
That's the same. What
And
four
two of those
names?
people are dead now.
I know. Heath
Out
and
of the
Philip.
5, yeah.
Wow.
Out of the 5, that was us. So, there's a short life in
Why
the
do you
acting
think that
world.
is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what Heath had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card,
What is that? What do you mean by that?
you give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once it go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back
Gender fluid.
from. So maintain your man card no matter what.
Man, I mean,
He had to take a deep breath. Yeah. Let's keep this going.
Man.
one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men, we produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay.
Look at his face. Man. Patrick Bet David knows this goes on in Hollywood. He didn't expect this guy to tell him this in his face, Yeah. That place is like, it's a bunch of people like that. And man.
No, remember when we very first started on YouTube, we was getting these calls,
auditions and stuff.
There was like Hollywood was calling us for like auditions. We was going to these production companies, and then we got this call. They was thinking about having us host this show on CBS. That's what they told us it was. When we got there, it was two gay men just pretty much flirting with us,
staring at my crotch the entire time. It was a casting couch. That was just a pretext to get us out there.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
I had no idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolute. But listen, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still. I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the Chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually, I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe. I've proven what I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now
Yeah, he's got a lot of flack for when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. What was it? There's a multiplication. It was
why it's 1 times 1 when 1 plus 1 is 2.
Yeah. Think about it. 1, you got 1 right here. Mm-hmm. This is where he's coming. This is 1 right here, right? And you got 1 over here. Okay, you times them together.
Yeah.
1 times 1 equals 1.
Yeah.
And then
1 times 1 equals 1.
Yeah. So
1 plus 1 equals 2.
Yeah, but he said 1 times 1. It should be 2 as well, because nowhere in the universe you can take 2 actions and multiply them together and you still have the same. That was his whole argument.
Well, I'm sticking with the white man on that one.
No, this dude.
Well, 1 times 1 means you eat 1 apple once a day. 1 plus 1 is mean you take 1 apple, add it to another apple, you get 2. It's just a different language.
Yeah. But anyway, this guy is like, when he did that podcast with Joe Rogan, a lot of people was like, kind of mocking him like he's a dumb guy.
He's
just
not
a dumb Hollywood actor. To sit here and watch him and how he explains how Hollywood works, and he puts his 2 cents into it. He's not a dumb guy. He's very intelligent. And he's actually like, I break intelligence up into 3 groups in this country. The first third is like the low capacity people. Then the middle third is like the typical Joe.
Right.
And then the other third is the smart people of society. I would probably put him in that top 1/3.
Probably. He's definitely in that one.
Yeah. Like 6% of this country. It's like 66% of this country is pretty much
regular Joe or just
brain dead.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what he said would make sense because I came across this Facebook video the other day, and these 2 kids are joking. Would you have relations with another man for $500 billion? Right?
Oh, I see.
That was the question. Would you have a relationship with a man? You're a straight man, but would you have relations with a man for $500 billion? He said, y'all know the answer to this, but I was like, man, if you're willing to do that for $500 billion, you can't even enjoy the money because everything you buy with that money is just a reminder of what you did to get that money. Whether it's to pay for a fancy wedding for your daughter or buy a big brand new house, several cars, everything you buy is a reminder of what you did, and that's what he's expressing.
You know what? If I did that, I wouldn't. It's not necessarily for the money. I would do that for that because that's wealth for my family when I'm dead and gone for my kids. I would do it for my kids.
I would never do that.
For your kids?
I ain't doing that.
You wouldn't sleep with another.
If it's that serious, they can do it. I ain't doing it.
No. Let's talk about this.
Ain't nothing to talk about. Everything you buy, Keith. Everything you buy.
Stop spitting all over me.
You would actually do that?
No. I didn't say I would do it.
You know what? You said that I do it for my kids. That's what you said. You know what? When you break down people at 1/3 that's dumb and low capacity, put yourself in. You know, daggone good and well, you wouldn't do that for those $500 billion. You in here playing games.
Stop putting words in my mouth and let me.
So you would do that?
No, listen what I'm saying, Kelvin.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, how much we talking?
I said $500 billion.
500 billion?
Yeah. Man, come on.
No,
man.
let me answer. I wouldn't do it.
Of course you wouldn't. Because you have to sit down with your wife and kids and say, hey, I'm fitting to take care of us. What you got to do, Daddy? Hey, I got to go have relations with this man.
My wife said, you better get in there and make that money. And your wife would say to you, you better get in there and work that ass.
But think about it. Yeah, you got $500 billion.
Yeah.
But guess what? Every time you buy
just saying, all I'm saying, your kids would never have to work.
Yeah, but think about it.
That's nothing I wouldn't do for my kids, though.
So you would do it?
I wouldn't do it.
Think about it.
I wouldn't do it.
Of course you would.
You like that, huh? You fucking. Yeah, give me my money.
You wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Why? Why you wouldn't do it?
Because I ain't losing my man card.
Yeah, and on top of that, everything you buy, it's just a reminder of what you did. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
The Justin Bieber's, all these people that went to the puppy park.
I totally get it, Kelvin.
That's why they're so depressed. Be like, man, I got this fancy house, I got beautiful cars, I got beautiful women, but I had to do this to achieve this.
Yeah,
it's not even worth it.
Right. If anybody ever offers me that money, I'm gonna make sure you come over and give me some coaching. I'm gonna call Terrence out. Hey, don't do it. No, I wouldn't do it.
Of course you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I can go on and do whatever else we need to do. And I've appreciated you being here and talking to you in a big way.
Yeah,
So
just
thank
talking
you
about a
for
lot of
coming
science
and-
stuff.
and sharing your understanding and helping me and understanding how they see the universe. I really appreciate it.
You know what's the best part about this? That you guys don't know each other. And by the way, I told you we may have somebody, but I never gave you a name.
Never did.
Until you came here, you guys met, so you did not know this was going to take place. I'm glad the connection was made.
Yeah. The whole podcast is like 2 hours, and they're talking about a lot of science. And Terrence Howard, that dude is not no fool.
No,
this dude is on another level.
Right. He is.
Just because you don't understand it doesn't make him the fool. It more likely makes the person that's listening the fool because you don't grasp it.
Right.
But that was a damn good show.
Damn good show.
Damn good show.